Ty Brady here with Brady Insurance Marketing and the Ty Brady Way. As a successful entrepreneur myself, I'm passionate in helping other entrepreneurs do the same as they rise from rags to riches and get inspired each week on the stories they tell here at the Ty Brady Way. Welcome back to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. Today I have Ryan Dalley on the show, and I've been trying to pin him down, but Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on. I was talking to Titan the other day, and for those of that may know, you've coached Titan a little over the years in football, and he's like, Dad, do you remember the first day we went to football tryouts? That's where I met Ryan. And he's telling me, he's like, we're along the fence in the shade, and Ryan asked, hey, can I help you put your pads on? And he remembers that to this day. And, we've coached together. Was it 1 year? We were able to coach together 1 year, and then that 1 year when we're on the – well, that's how we got to know each other, a little bit of background, and then learned a little bit about, your business and what you've been able to do and go from there. But a little bit, the show talking about entrepreneurs and what they've been able to do, and your background's in electrical.
Correct.
And when you did that, you do a lot of federal jobs, right?
Yes.
And
yes. Government, state.
How did you get into that did you say like, hey, well, actually, I want to go back even further because everybody's got to hear about bull riding. No, really. So how did you get into that?
I got into that on a dare.
Really?
Grew up with a bunch of kids. That's what they did. They rodeoed. I played a little baseball with them and stayed friends over the years. And one day we just got talking and he says, hey, do you want to give it a shot? He's like, I dare you. And so the next day we went over to Salina down south there and got on one, and it was done and over in a blink of an eye, and I was hooked. And
wow.
So after that point on, I kind of focused my way that way, got rid of the baseball side and started a rodeo.
You played baseball all growing up, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you went through high school?
Played through
what
high
position
school.
Did you play?
I played shortstop in high school.
Okay.
And grew up playing shortstop through the years. Shortstop, second base. College, played 1 year at Snow.
Okay.
And then decided to hang it all up to rodeo.
Well, I know we talked about you wanted your kid to play baseball. We played football instead, right?
Football and lacrosse.
Yeah,
lacrosse.
I'm sorry.
It was your son who got him to go to the lacrosse side, but he loves it.
I tell you.
He loves the lacrosse side.
It's we've built such a community around sports, and I don't think people realize how the sports community, rec sports, what it does for these young men, because you're trying to help them to grow up to be young men. And I've talked a lot recently because the boys that I've coached, they're going into high school and I no longer get to coach them. And it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
I got one more year with my other son, and I'm like, man, but then there's nothing more rewarding than to see them excel in the sport that when they couldn't hold a football or they couldn't hold a stick, right?
Correct.
And then they go from there. So you go rodeo on a dare. And by the way, I tried that one time just this last year, and I tried one of those mechanical bulls. Man, I mean, you really got to suction your thighs to the side of that bull, and you got to hold on for dear life.
Yes.
And it moves one direction or another, and you're gone.
Correct. Yeah.
So you got hooked. You got a little bug.
I got hooked on it and got to meet some really neat people through the years. The rodeo community it's a close-knit community that's just awesome to be a part of. It really was. It was a lot of fun.
And I think you were telling me that you travel as a rodeo. You travel every weekend.
We would travel to hit different shows in different places.
And is it like an entry fee type deal?
Yes, you pay an entry, and what you do is you would put in, and if you got your name drawn out of the hat, whatever you want to call it, then you were in, and then you pay your entry fee. And
so it's not a guarantee.
No, you would have to put in and get your name drawn.
And then don't they draw the bull you're on?
Yes.
So it's like, okay, they're going to match you up with X, Y, Z, and you got.
And most of the time we would know before we got there. When you did bull riders only, which was at the end of what I did a few of those, and you would get your draw when you would get there. So
you wouldn't know what bull you're riding?
No, not until you got there.
So how many years did you bull ride?
About around 6 years, 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you'd work during the week, chase
Yep.
bulls on weekend. Yeah. What's that
Yeah.
country song? The rodeo. You chase
Yeah,
the rodeo.
yeah.
You lived that life.
Yeah, we would work Monday through Friday, and then we would try and hit a show Friday night, and then we leave Friday. We would go all the way to Belen, New Mexico for a rodeo down there, get on Sunday, and try to make it back for work on Monday morning. So it was just, and we would do that as many times as we could in the winter, because back then it wasn't like it is now. Now there's shows all over the place. It was a little bit different back in that day.
You had to be selective. It's more selective. So what got you out of the rodeo scene?
I got injured pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then when I tried to come back, I just didn't have the mental state that it needed to be in to climb on. You can't have any fear. You can't have anything holding you back. You have to be focused in and no doubt in your minds.
So you're just like, okay, I got to hang it up.
It's just time. It
was pretty serious though. You're in life or death, right? I mean,
yeah, I got my head stepped on. Well, first I got hit in the side of the head with the horns.
Mm-hmm.
I got lazy, made my ride, leaned forward a little bit too much, and he just came back, smacked me upside the head, knocked me out. I hung to him. That means when you go on the other side and your hand gets caught, you can't get loose. Clowns broke me free. I just happened to go underneath him, and he came down on me.
You got a double whammy.
Yep. So got life flighted from Evanston to Salt Lake City, and was there for about a month.
You're saying you woke up and like you don't even remember your parents were there, huh?
I remember waking up, and you're just sitting there, and you're looking at the ceiling, and kind of like going through, okay, well, what was I doing? How did I get here? And I remembered I was at a show in Evanston, and then I started going through my mind. You know how you just, things come to you, and I'm like, oh, that was Friday. Thinking today's Saturday, I've got a show tonight, and I think it was down in Payson, and I'm pulling the tubes out because I got to get to my show, not realizing I'd been in there for quite a while, and that show was gone and past. But as I was in the hospital, the craziest part was, I remember my traveling partners coming. I remember their voices. Okay. I remember my boss coming. I remember seeing his face. I don't remember talking to him. My mom was there the entire time, and I don't even remember her ever being there, which is just insane and crazy to me. But she was there the entire time I was in the hospital.
Wow. And you tried to get back on, or you wanted to get back on?
I wanted to get back on. I once I got out, my equilibrium, it took a few weeks for that to kind of get back to normal. It's kind of weird that once you've been laying down that long, like you'd get dizzy. But got back on, made a really good ride the first time I ever got back on. Started wearing a helmet. Back then we didn't wear helmets. And bought a helmet, started wearing a helmet, and made a really great ride the very first time I got back on. And then it just kind of started going downhill from there. Just not having the love, the passion, and that in the back of your mind. And those guys that get hurt and continue to they're just a different breed. They really are.
So you give it up. So how did you get into electrical?
So I had a really close friend that was my cousin's husband, and his dad owned an electrical company, and he opened up a shop up here, and he just asked me one time, hey, you want to come give me a hand? A little bit behind. Went and helped him out, and just absolutely loved it. I loved it. I'd been doing concrete in between college, leading up to college, in between college, and then after college, just to help. That was what I did. It was what I knew. Yeah. And decided, electrical was a lot easier than concrete. So we started going the electrical route.
And then you worked for a guy that bid a lot of federal jobs, if I remember, and traveled all over the place. And that company kind of went away. You started your own deal. Yep.
And then I started my own leading up to college, in between college, and then after college, just to help. That was what I did. It was what I knew. Yeah. And decided, electrical was a lot easier than concrete. So we started going the electrical route.
And then you worked for a guy that bid a lot of federal jobs, if I remember, and traveled all over the place. And that company kind of went away. You started your own deal.
Yep. And then I started my own with a business partner.
Yeah.
We started our own. We had a couple of jobs. The company I worked for, they went bankrupt, and we had a couple of projects still in the Bay Area down in San Francisco, VA. We finished those contracts out, and it just steamrolled from there.
How hard was it when you transitioned from, like, you were working for somebody, you're like, hey, I'm going to do this on my own? Was that a pretty hard transition that first couple of years, or what did that look like?
Yeah, it was extremely difficult. I mean, you're taking a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And so we started the company, and you have to build your capital. You have to, it's a slow build. It took quite a few years, but we got it going. There was a lot of trial and error, a lot of, we're not ever doing that again. I mean, to a point, there was a time we talked that day about shutting it down. And the next day we picked up another really good federal contract, and it just went from there.
Now, I know as of late, you've had people approach you saying, hey, are you like the exit strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, I know that you have this niche, you've been able to do this. I mean, what has the challenge been since you've been growing the company, and now, like, okay, what is the exit strategy? I mean, what is that? Do you see you exiting? I mean, do you see?
I do want to exit. I want to get into the Medicare side.
Yeah.
And focus solely on that.
Yeah.
One, I'm not getting any younger. I turned 51 this year. I'm not getting any younger. The things I could do in electrical, I can't do it. And I like to work in the field. I hate just doing the when it comes to the electrical side. I love to be in the field. Mm-hmm. I love to see it when you walk off the job site, what you did that day.
The progress. You're like, hey, I got this. And mm-hmm. I mean, that's one thing I miss from building is like you're building a house for somebody, it's their dream, and then all of a sudden you turn the keys over to them, right? You don't necessarily get that in the role I have now, where you just sell somebody a piece of paper that if crap hits the fan, they're going to be covered, right? Exactly. But you know what? It's the relationships that are there now.
So and you're always helping somebody.
That's right.
With that.
And that's what's really, really, really nice to do. So as you I mean, do you see it going another 5 years on the electrical side? Or like, hey, if somebody came to you today and said, hey, because I think you said you got a guy that's like, hey, I want to buy you out, but then he still wants you to do the work. Like, correct. Yeah. So is it?
So the one thing that is good about owning your own business is the freedom at times.
Yes.
There is the other part where in other ways you don't have that freedom. And so by going to work for somebody else, where they wanted to buy us out, we go to work for them. You would be doing the same thing that I'm doing already without that freedom. Mm-hmm. And so that was one reason I looked at it that way and decided that it just wasn't right for me right now.
You need someone to come in and just say, hey, I'll take it over, buy you out, and they take it from there.
Correct.
They take all the accounts and all the stuff that you have, and they can move on and grow it from there. Correct. You need to find a young guy like somebody that's that wants to build something and say, hey,
we'll just wait a couple of years for Titan and Gray to get it, and they can take it off.
There you go. I don't know if Titan want to do it, but hey, we'll figure it out, right? Maybe. You never know. I mean, you never say never, right? So on the electrical side of it, that's good. But then you'd have a passion for coaching, and you've coached for a number of years. I mean, different teams. In fact, my son's been on your team a number of years. As you look at coaching, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of volunteering. It's a lot of noise. What keeps you going?
The kids.
Yeah.
The kids. It's to see them succeed.
Yeah.
And when that light bulb, you have a certain kid, and you're teaching him something, and he's struggling, but he's growing, and he can't see the development, but you can. And then when that light bulb clicks, and that look on their face, that's why you do it.
I tell you, it gives me chills as I look at, like, I tell people I have 2 volumes, louder and louder, and I every time I'm like, okay, Ty, I talk to myself, in my head, and I'm like, okay, it's good. Because not every kid responds the same.
No, they don't.
I mean, there's a kid you can challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, Drex and I can get after pretty hard because, like, Dad, I know it comes out of love. Titan, you just challenge him.
Yep,
like
exactly.
And then
you don't have to get on him. You just and he knows.
Yes.
He knows. You don't have to get on him.
He's his worst critic.
Correct.
Then there's other kids. It's like, okay, did you see? You have to explain it a little more.
Yeah, exactly. There's some kids that learn visually.
Mm-hmm.
There's other kids that you can talk to them that way about. Each kid is different,
mm-hmm.
and you have to learn to adjust your coaching to each kid. Mm-hmm. The way you describe it to them on what they're doing on a play call, so that they understand what they're doing. Where other kids, it just kind of clicks. Others need to be shown.
And some kids, it may take a little more time.
Correct. And you just have to show patience.
Then you're like, okay, he'll get it. And what's interesting to me is you have a kid that may have all the talent in the world, but he can't, he struggles to put it together.
Correct.
Then you have the kid that sits there and he gets it, but doesn't necessarily have the talent yet.
Correct.
And it's amazing to watch that development, because when it does start clicking, it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
When you design a play and you're like, okay, you've got the perfect play, you got the kids in place, and it's executed, you're like, it's just like an aha moment, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they all get it. They see it.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, and the excitement, and the kids just, when it just everything clicks for them.
They're like, you just want to look back, and just losses are tough.
Yes.
Right? The wins are easy to talk about.
Correct.
The losses, and you could see it in their eyes because they feel like they've
let you down.
Yeah. But I'm like, you didn't let me down.
No.
I'm like, I'm trying to build you together as a team. I'm trying to say that you can do better things. You can do hard things, because that's life.
Exactly. And that's, as coaches, we're not there just for the X's and O's on the field. In my opinion, it's more important for us to turn them into future leaders of the community.
Absolutely.
That's football is a tool for that.
Yeah. I've mentioned earlier on previous podcasts that, they say football's family a lot, lacrosse is family. When you look at the amount of time those kids spend with the coach and those kids, it's more than their own family.
Yes, especially during the season.
And you're talking, and the amount of hours, you're like, it's 20, 30 hours a week minimum, and not the time that you spend home trying to be like, okay, how can we design a play to get all the kids involved?
Yep.
How can we work with their strengths?
Correct.
Yeah, I may want to run this type of offense or this type of defense, but do I have the skilled players to do it?
Exactly.
So no, I got to adjust. And then you have to adjust between teams.
Yes.
Because you're like, who are we going up against, right?
Yeah.
Where can we put the strengths? It's a chess match, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you're like, how can I scheme this, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And you're like, but the kids, and then the bond, like I see the bond with the kids the last 7 years. Oftentimes I'll have 8, 10 kids in my house that have all from just the sporting community.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're riding bikes together, or they're doing whatever. And I keep telling them, I just got to keep them out of trouble. That's the other thing.
Exactly. And that's the great thing about it with the football, lacrosse, basketball, any sport, it keeps them out of trouble.
Yeah. It teaches them how to fail too.
Yeah.
And they get
you
back
need
up.
that. They need to fail.
Yeah.
Because that way they learn you can pick yourself up, and
it's okay.
It's okay.
I tell my kids, I failed many times. I just got back up.
Exactly.
I failed in life, business, whatever, you name it. It's like, here we go.
But that family thing, it's crazy how these kids just bond, like you said. And then I've coached a lot of these kids for so long, and with your own kids, like Star, who called me Coach Dalley for my Coach Dalley.
Yeah.
And then you're at the store and some kids going, Coach Dalley, Coach Dalley, and turn out it's one of your players' younger siblings or even older sibling
mm-hmm.
that's calling you Coach Dalley, and they're excited to see you. And it's just, that's what it's about.
I was pumping gas one time. That reminds me of this kid came up, and he first year kid, I'd never coached him. And he just came up and he saw that I was wearing coaching gear, and he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. That kid's the best friend with one of my Titan now. And I still remember him coming up, pumping gas. He was so excited to talk to me. And his dad was just standing over there just watching him. His dad must have said, "You want to go talk to him? Go talk to him. Yeah, and he's like, "I'm so-and-so," and da-da-da. He was just chatting my ear off. And I was like, "Hey, it's good to meet you." But now he's a killer lacrosse kid. He doesn't play football anymore. He plays lacrosse, but he kills it in lacrosse. And it's powerful. Ryan, I appreciate being on the show. Any last thoughts you'd like to share with the audience? Life, business, all the above?
No, I think I covered it. I think we're good. I covered all I know.
All right. Ryan, I really appreciate being on the show. As always, share, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. As always, share, like, and subscribe. Go to Instagram at ty.r.brady. And as always, love hearing from you. And let me know what you want to learn on the show or what you'd like me to bring up on the show. Thanks.
You can find the Ty Brady Way on Instagram as well as Facebook. To stay connected with giveaways and Ty himself, go ahead and follow at ty.r.brady on Instagram as well as Facebook. This podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Whitney Face Media Marketing. The theme music is an excerpt from Hot Chicken of the Woods by Isaac Joel.